Plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
She's guilty of plagiarism. So how can we say about it?
How could you be guilty of something that is not prohibited? You know, there was a case against a Filipino who made I love you. And before that time, there was no law against it. Because every people thinks that, internet is always not harmful, but ethically right. So whatever you do to your computer, internet, it's just ethically right. But people started to do it wrong, to do something wrong about it, and it becomes unethical. During Mrs. White's time, whenever people quote, they would quote it in the very nicest way, ethically, so that no people complains about it, and it's not against the law. So when you quote something like the scripture, you quote it, nobody would sue you. But people started to quote somebody and then quote it in another sense. Quote it in another sense that destroys the reputation of the original writing. Then people began to what? To copyright it, so that no people could quote them unwisely, and not for the benefit of the writing, but to destroy the writing. And from then on, plagiarism began because of the evil of people. Now the law now restrains anyone to just quote without permission or without the credit from the person. So that when you have credit, you will go back to the original and see whether the context is right or wrong, or whether they're just destroying their reputation. Okay? So it's not plagiarism because plagiarism does not exist during the time. How could plagiarism, they plagiarize it, it does not even exist. Okay? When I would be quoted, I would love to be quoted. When I would be misquoted, I don't love to be misquoted. It's not about property rights, no. It's not about property rights. It's about the misquotation of the words.
That's correct. Can I add?
Okay.
Regarding the question is, why do people are asking Mrs. White plagiarize her writings? If you're going to search it in Google, you will see many hit lists regarding about the attacks on the internet. So usually there are two kinds of plagiarism. It's like you're copying totally the word by word, and then you're the thought and the thought. And if you're going to look at that, if you are attacking on the SOP, you're also attacking the Bible. Why? Because like Matthew quoted Isaiah, right? And if you also read Mark,
Doesn't credit it.
yes.
Does not credit Isaiah.
And also Mark, right? If you're going to read Mark, there are some stories there that you can see in Matthew and Luke. So, can you say that Mark plagiarized the writings of Matthew and Luke? No, right? Because Ellen White is inspired, and the prophets on the Bible are inspired. So Ellen White is not.
And how do you know who plagiarized who? I mean, who registered that I wrote this, and I wrote this. But actually, she actually quotes from other writings. And then there was a question, if she was just quoting, then she's not a prophet. I would say, how does she know that what she quotes is correct? Because there are many false writings during their time. And how does she know what kind of health quotations she would quote that would still, until now, remain to be true? So it's only by inspiration that she would quote the right quotation that would last the test of time. Okay? But anyway, nobody sued her because she was that right. Okay? So I would say it's just an attack of people who wanted to cast doubt. And if you want to cast doubt, you will hold all the doubts you wanted very effectively to ruin you. Okay? So God bless you and bye. Thank you. Anong oras mas